Right now, as you watch this, a powerful warship sits quietly in the Middle East waters. It's not there by accident, and it's not part of any routine deployment. The USS Tripoli arrived within the last 48 hours carrying 2,200 special forces. That alone would raise eyebrows, but it didn't arrive alone. Around the same time, another 1,800 troops were flown in from the United States. And suddenly, this looks a lot bigger than a normal military movement. Then a major report revealed something even more serious behind the scenes. The White House is reportedly considering sending up to 10,000 ground troops. That kind of number changes the entire strategic picture instantly. So now, everyone is asking the same question at the same time. Are these forces meant to pressure negotiations or prepare for war? Because right now, both of those possibilities are unfolding together. And that contradiction is what makes this moment extremely dangerous. While ships moved across the sea, something else happened quietly. It received almost no attention in Western media coverage. But it may be even more important than the troop deployments. The foreign ministers of Egypt and Turkey both traveled to Pakistan. They arrived within hours of each other, heading to the same destination. That timing was not random, and it was not a coincidence. Reports suggest a new diplomatic channel is being formed. Pakistan, Egypt, and Turkey are attempting to mediate between the US and Iran. This creates a negotiation track outside traditional Western influence. And that shift alone has major implications for global power balance. Because these countries are not aligned closely with US interests. Pakistan maintains deep ties with Saudi Arabia and nuclear cooperation. Turkey has increasingly challenged US and Israeli strategies in the region. Egypt operates based on its own strategic priorities. And none of these priorities fully align with Washington. But here's what makes this even more concerning for Europe. European nations are not part of this negotiation process at all. They are not present, not consulted, and not influencing the outcome. Yet they will face massive economic consequences from this conflict. So while diplomacy is happening, military escalation continues rapidly. Both tracks are moving forward at the exact same time. And that leads to the most dangerous development so far. Iran is reportedly considering leaving the nuclear treaty. This is not speculation. It has been openly discussed by officials. The Non-Proliferation Treaty limits nuclear weapon development globally. It allows international inspections of nuclear facilities. It acts as a foundation for global nuclear stability. Leaving this treaty changes everything instantly. It signals that a country may pursue nuclear weapons openly. US intelligence reports Iran already has uranium enriched to 60%. That level is dangerously close to weapons-grade material. Experts say it could produce multiple nuclear warheads if advanced further. This is no longer a hidden program operating in secrecy. It becomes an official strategic direction during an active conflict. And that creates a completely new level of global risk. The implications stretch far beyond the Middle East region. They directly affect NATO and European security planning. Meanwhile, the battlefield situation is evolving rapidly. Reports indicate a shift in military targeting strategy. Instead of regime change, focus has moved to infrastructure damage. Water facilities, industrial sites, and economic systems are being targeted. This suggests a strategy to weaken functionality rather than leadership. History shows this approach rarely achieves lasting success. Similar strategies failed in past conflicts like Vietnam and Korea. At the same time, Iran is adapting its military tactics. New missile systems now use fragmentation warheads. This spread damage even if intercepted mid-air. Traditional defense systems struggle to stop this type of threat. Interceptors capable of stopping them are running low. This creates a serious vulnerability in defense systems. Meanwhile, attacks are becoming more coordinated. Hezbollah is launching strikes alongside Iranian missile attacks. This overwhelms defense systems from multiple directions. And now, another major player has entered the conflict. The Houthis have launched attacks after officially joining the war. This opens a new front and expands the battlefield significantly. So now there are multiple active attack directions at once. And this is where the situation becomes extremely complex. Because the possibility of a ground invasion is increasing. Reports indicate formal invasion plans have been presented. These are not theoretical, they are operational proposals. Military forces are being positioned to execute them. An aircraft carrier group is already moving toward the region. Troop numbers continue to rise steadily. But experts warn this would be extremely costly. Iran's geography and population make invasion very difficult. Its terrain limits technological advantages significantly. Unlike past wars, its military remains largely intact. Defensive positions are already being reinforced. Any invasion could result in heavy casualties. Analysts describe it as potentially catastrophic. And yet, preparations continue regardless of the risks. At the same time, negotiations appear to be failing. Iran's demands are extremely difficult to accept. They include reparations, sanctions removal, and control of key routes. They also exclude limits on nuclear and missile programs. These terms are politically impossible for the US to accept, which raises a critical strategic question. Is negotiation meant to resolve the conflict or extend it? Because failed diplomacy may justify further escalation, and that leads to a dangerous cycle of actions. Meanwhile, global economic consequences are already visible. Industrial facilities in the Gulf have been targeted. Supply chains are beginning to feel the pressure. European industries are especially vulnerable to disruptions. Inflation pressures are slowly returning. The global economy is starting to react in real time. And the situation is far from stabilizing. Advanced military assets have already been deployed. Even the most powerful air capabilities are in use. Yet the conflict continues without resolution. This suggests escalation may not stop easily. Analysts are watching a critical timeline approaching. If no agreement is reached, escalation is expected. That escalation could change everything overnight. And the world is watching closely. Because what happens next will not stay regional. It will impact energy, trade, and global stability. Europe may face severe economic consequences again. Supply shortages could spread across industries. Political pressure will rise inside multiple countries. Governments will be forced into difficult decisions. And the margin for error is becoming very small. The forces are already in motion. The clock is ticking faster than most realize. And the outcome remains dangerously uncertain.